Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Data Cloud Now. I'm currently in the studio where I'm now delighted to be joined by Arvind Jain, founder and CEO at Glean. Arvind, such a pleasure to be with you here today.
Great to be here.
Really looking forward to diving in. Arvind, at Glean, your mission is to expand human potential by enabling people to use AI in a meaningful way in their daily work. From a macro perspective, what's the data showing you and what's top of mind for ecosystem of issuers?
Well, AI is really making a big impact in the enterprise. As we talk to our customers, the one thing that's clear to them right now is they want to actually go all in on AI. They know it's going to change how work happens in the future, and they're looking for partners who can really help AI, make AI work for them in their business, connect AI with all of their enterprise information, data, and knowledge, and make it a useful tool in people's day-to-day work. So a lot of excitement in the market, and there's a lot for us to do.
Wonderful to hear. And Arvind, in today's hyper-competitive environment, differentiation is key. How does Glean set itself apart in the marketplace? And how is the AI Data Cloud's easy, connected, and trusted platform serving to power these innovations?
Well, see, enterprise environments are very, very complex. Take any large business, they have lots and lots of data, knowledge, unstructured information, structured information, spread across many, many different systems inside the company. And knowledge as a whole is really, really hard to access. So whenever you as an employee have a question that you need an answer for, you need some information to finish your task, you always struggle. You don't know where to go and look, where to go find the information that you need. So Glean, started as a company to actually solve that problem. And our focus initially was on structured information. All the data that lives in your emails, in your documents, and in your document systems like OneDrive or Google Drive, communication systems like Slack or Teams or Zoom. There's so much information that's in these systems. And it's really like, you think about your institutional memory, your institutional knowledge, it's all there, but really inaccessible. And so initially when we started out, that was our focus. Like, how do you actually make use of that information and make it more easily accessible to our users whenever they have questions, and save them time and move them, help them move fast. Over the years though, we also started to realize that a lot of really, really valuable business information is actually in structured data systems. For example, in AI Data Cloud with Snowflake. And our users were demanding. They were saying that Glean is a great tool. I can go there and find all the documents that I was looking for. I can find those conversations that I had with somebody, but I also need data from our structured systems. I need to actually answer questions about how my sales are doing, and all of that information is typically sitting in a system like Snowflake. And so that's why I'm really excited to also talk about this integration that we have now with Cortex Analyst, where we are bringing all of the enterprise unstructured and structured information together in one place and make it really accessible to our end users.
It's an exciting next chapter, and thank you so much for that background. And Arvind, I want to pivot slightly. Glean recently completed its Series F funding round and was named to Fast Company's Most Innovative Companies list. As CEO and founder, what do these milestones signify to you and what your team has built, and how are you positioning Glean for future success?
Well, we're really excited to actually first, get these, awards. It's a recognition of all the hard work that we put in over the years. It means a lot to our employees and makes them feel proud, make me feel proud of how far we have come, starting with just an idea to actually a real product that is adding value to employees, at the world's most iconic companies. In terms of progress, today, if you think about Glean just as a product, in some ways you can think of us as a more powerful version of ChatGPT inside your company. It's an AI assistant, a conversational tool where you can go and talk to it. You can give it, any task that you want to complete. You can ask it to, any questions that you have. And Glean will use all of the world's knowledge, but also all of your internal company's data and knowledge, which sits in your unstructured and structured systems, and bring those answers back to you or complete those tasks for you. And over the years, as AI models have gotten better, it has allowed us to actually really make this product more and more useful to our to our to our customers, and their employees. And these events, like as you think about like our funding rounds and others, it's just a reflection of how the business is growing and how we're finding success, in today's sort of like AI hungry world.
Well, it's wonderful to hear. Congratulations again to you and the entire team. And now I want to go back to Snowflake and cover some other recent current events. As you mentioned, Glean announced an expanded partnership with Snowflake. How does this further build off your continued success, and what can we expect in the future?
So the most important thing for Glean is first 100% connectivity to all of our enterprise systems. When employees have questions, they're not thinking about, hey, like, does my question need structured information or unstructured information? They don't actually think about, hey, like, where is the actual data or the information, like, in one of these technical systems. Like, all they know is that they have a question and they want a quick answer back. And for us, like, for a long time, we were actually really good in terms of, like, Glean has the broadest set of enterprise integrations to all enterprise systems that you can imagine. So when you deploy Glean inside your company, you are able to connect it with most of those systems. And now we actually can take all the knowledge, all the data that sits inside those systems and help, our users with whatever questions they have. But for a long time, that focus was on unstructured information. We were not so much into analytics. If you were to come and ask a question in Glean that, tell me how my sales in the West region are working, how fast are they growing? Like, we could point you to like maybe some dashboards in your BI systems or some database, that may have that information, but we couldn't actually go and really answer that question for you. So with this integration that now we have built with Cortex Analyst, we're actually further increasing the capabilities of our product. And now you can think of Glean is connected to everything. So you can come and ask a question that could be analytical in nature. You could ask something else which needs to tap into unstructured information. And you, as a user, you don't worry anymore because we can bring all of that information back to you in one place. So Snowflake and Glean integration actually plays a critical role in actually using the technologies that both of our companies have built and making it truly accessible in an easy way to our end customers.
Well said, Arvind. An exciting next chapter indeed. And now I want to get personal with you. I love the opportunity to sit down with founders. I want to dive into your management philosophy in ethos for a minute. How are you up-leveling your teams, and what advice would you like to share with the audience on how to prepare their team for this AI future we find ourselves in?
So one of the things that we are a native Gen AI company. But the shocking part of, while being a native Gen AI company, is that, our employees are still the same employees that you have.
Right.
Like, we're all, sort of learned how to work in the way, we had to, like, before AI made so many of these things easier for us. So even at our own company, like, we had to actually spend a lot of time trying to actually make our people AI first. Like, our R&D team was actually AI first from the get-go because, well, they are building, the most modern AI products for the industry. But when you think about our salespeople, marketing people, and HR and finance, we had to actually put in a lot of effort to actually make them AI first. Driving that education and making people feel comfortable with AI is actually one of the most important things that any large enterprise or even like startups like ours have to actually work on. So my advice, number one, to any emerging startup or growing company is, well, actually, this is a time to actually be AI first. This is a time to actually, while yes, leverage on your team's experience and their way of doing things as they're used to, but make sure that every task that comes in the company, like, you sort of figure out, like, how AI is going to actually help you solve that task in a more efficient manner and in a way that is actually a lot more powerful and high quality than in the world without AI. So one of the things, that as part of that, like, what we're doing is they're actually goaling and tasking every executive in the company. We're actually, challenging each one of them to say that, hey, are you going to be the world's best, and world's first, like, AI enabled CRO, or you want to be the first, AI-led marketing, leader. And that's the challenge that we have for our teams. And we're constantly asking them, like, what are the, tactics that they're using. One thing that, initially, like, we, like many CEOs have made this mistake of like setting very, very ambitious goals with AI. For example, they'll say that, hey, look, AI is here, and I need now you to actually have 25% fewer people or have 50% more efficiency in like all of your business metrics. And nobody actually knows how to do that. AI is powerful but new, and you got to still learn it. And so when you set goals like these, you won't make progress. Instead, like you set goals which are actually very achievable, and so the way we do it is we tell every one of our leaders that every quarter just do one thing with AI.
Start small.
Yeah, start small and do one thing, that actually, improves something about your work. Maybe it brings some efficiency. It is okay if it doesn't. Maybe it just makes somebody's lives easier. Maybe it actually does something that you were not capable of doing before. Like, for example, you can do a lot more deep research now than you could do before. But just just get your hands, sort of wet and, and get ready for AI. And that actually, is so much more powerful for us, because now nobody feels the pressure, nobody hates AI because, is forcing them to, set up big goals, and they get curious, and, something new happens every quarter. And as now, if you think about our enterprise today, there is so much that is natively AI inside our company.
It's great to hear very much that top-down approach. Well, Arvind, been such a pleasure sitting down with you. But before we wrap, as you look out on the coming months, what's your top priority and why?
So our number one priority is to scale with the growing customer demand. Like, we have a really amazing market out there. Every large enterprise today, their top priority is to figure out how will they educate their people with AI. And Glean is actually one of the easiest, the first tool that comes to people's mind, as a tool that they can bring to, every single employee within their enterprise and make AI part of their day-to-day work. So we're seeing great demand, and we just now need to figure out how we're going to actually serve that demand. How do we scale our teams, whether it is sales and marketing and engineering and support. So that's the number one focus for us. And then I'm also excited about the upcoming capabilities of AI. Is this year has been actually amazing for models and how fast they've generated developed reasoning and thinking capabilities. And so we're really seeing this possibility of truly advancing Glean and building this, what I call a personal, companion to every person who works inside the company. And this powered by AI, of course. So, but Glean's personal companion, you think of it as a human that is actually, that walks with you wherever you go. It's, like you having a water cooler conversation with someone. It listens to every word that you hear. It listens to every word that you speak. It goes with you in every meeting that you attend. It's actually in the systems where you are. It's keeping track of what emails you're sending, what documents you're reading or writing, and sort of knows what your goals are, what your day looks like, who you are meeting. And then, as a companion, is proactive. And it's actually going to truly help you achieve more in your day. For example, it looks at your day, and if you're not prepared for meetings that you're going to be having, it's going to actually help you get prepared in the morning before the day starts. If you have 20 tasks that you need to do, over the course of the week, hopefully it'll do 10 of those for you that it knows how to, and keep those tasks ready for you to review. So that's the future that we're going towards, where AI is going to become a lot more proactive as opposed to being reactive as it is today. Today, you can go to ChatGPT, you can go to Glean, you can ask it to do things for you, and we'll do it for you. But the future is where AI comes to you and actually truly sort of, brings, that 10x, sort of leverage, to you in your work life.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
And for the audience watching, I'm Ryan Green with Data Cloud Now. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you soon.